Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Brick Street Podcast. Today we have Marcus Makovicka. He is the assistant strength and conditioning coach for Mississippi College. How you doing today, Marcus?
Fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing swell, man. How did you get to Mississippi College?
Well, I went to undergrad at University of Missouri, so MIZ, real SEC school. I'll have you know that.
Oh, really? I haven't noticed lately.
Oh, wow. Hey, let's not talk about Ole Miss and Mississippi State now, okay? You know, Mizzou's doing a little bit better now. So I was there for 4 years. I played rugby, got my undergraduate degree in nutrition and exercise physiology, and wanted to know what I can do with that. And so my older brother was a graduate assistant at Southern Miss, right? He says they have an internship open, so go there, get an internship over the summer, compete for a graduate assistant spot. Luckily, I was picked for that spot. I was there for 2 years. I worked with football, track and field, women's soccer, women's tennis, and had a pretty successful career. Just got my master's degree in sport coaching, which is great. And come the summertime, looking for a full-time job. And had a connection with Coach Shu. One of my good buddies was actually one of his former interns a while back. And we got in contact, got me down here, and been loving it ever since.
So why did you want to get into strength and conditioning?
So when I was, basically any college undergrad goes in with these high hopes. So I came in as an engineering student. Mm-hmm. Within 2 days, I had switched my major to undeclared. Had no interest in doing engineering whatsoever. Mm-hmm. So anytime a crisis, a man looks back at their father figures in life, and one of mine was my high school strength and conditioning coach, an old cranky man named Tom Sumner. Now, he was probably one of the most important men in developing me into a man instead of just a high school boy. So when attempting to find out what you want to do with the rest of your life, I look back to him and I go, well, maybe I could do that the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. Well, as time goes on, my older brother starts getting deeper and deeper into college strength and conditioning. So that opens up a brand new avenue. I go, well, maybe I could do that too. So when he went to take an internship at Stanford, I took over his internship for a summer at Missouri State with their basketball program. Long story short, I loved it. I had a great mentor at Mizzou, who was actually one of my teachers, who was a former strength coach at Mizzou, a great researcher and novelist for training programs. And he kind of guided me back towards college, and here I am today.
So what is it like working with Coach Shu?
As fun as it can get.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in stressful environments. I've been in the and don't get me wrong, it's strength and conditioning still. It's still high intensity. We're screaming. We're pumping people up. We're getting pumped up ourselves. There's no time to relax in there. However, it's about as fun as I've had in strength and conditioning in terms of a work environment, in terms of a family environment in there.
So he just went to China. He was the Chinese national softball team's strength and conditioning coach, correct?
Right.
They did lose, but what was that experience like for all the strength staff to see him go to China and kind of, almost go to the Olympics?
Well, all of us think the best of Coach Shu, but now we think, wow, this guy's pretty dang good at his job. If he's going international and holding a job here and also traveling overseas to work with not just a team or a professional team, but a national team trying to compete for the Olympics, that gives some pretty good credentials to our boss now.
It does. And, it not only did he have to step up his game for that, y'all had to step up y'all's game when he was gone. What was it like, controlling the weight room?
Well, the good part about being a part of a Coach Shu run program is that nothing really changes when he leaves. Mm-hmm. It's just up to us to try and put on our best shoe face. And we tried our best to do that. It ran great. And, sure, I was there a little bit later than normal and working on the floor just a little bit more than I'm used to. But, in the end, it's a great experience for me, too. I get to play head strength coach for a little bit. But I am very glad he's back, and my sleep schedule is, too.
So you've been in charge of football, correct? Men's soccer, volleyball, and cross country. So with the football team so far this season, they've had a really kind of impressive season thus far. They've won their first 2 home games, and they should have beat and should have upset West Florida on the road last week. And I was there. I mean, they took an 89-yard drive with 3 minutes to go. Can you talk about it, what it's been like to coach the football team a little bit and be on the sidelines for the home games?
Well, I'm the assistant for football, but I did have a chance to run it while she was gone, so a little clarification there. But I think what's happened this season, obviously wasn't here. I just got here in August, but what I've seen is a big culture shift in the way just the athletes handle each other. There's very few bickering or anything, and everyone's really trying to pick each other up, and especially from the weight room perspective, nobody comes in that weight room not prepared to work, right? When you come in, you look at that sheet or you listen to us, and you come in and you get your work done, and there's no excuses, no nothing. You come in and you load up plates, you get to work, and everyone's very much so on the same page with how intense you want to go. Like, you can have cuts, bruises, all that, but you still come in and you get your job done.
How different is it to plan for football strength and conditioning than, say, cross country or men's soccer strength and conditioning?
Well, the thing is that every athlete kind of generally needs the same thing. It's in the specifics that we differ in. So, every athlete population needs to squat. They need to deadlift. They need to do RDLs. They need to do isolated hamstring work. But, once you get to a sport like football, right, you're talking about high-intensity amounts of sprinting, collisions. You have max-out jumps while I'm being hit, right? So in terms of the volume of isolation training, so talk about bodybuilding the upper, right? You're trying to build armor on these football players. Whereas if I got a cross-country runner who needs to stay at a certain light weight to be able to compete, I don't need them looking like a rocked-up bodybuilder now. I just need them to be strong and functional.
So also, it's difficult dealing with some of these athletes too mentally, because a football player has a different mindset than a soccer player, correct? How do you kind of try to pump up a football player for workouts compared to how do you pump up a soccer player for workouts?
Well, football in itself has always been a grind and gritty type of sport. So I found that a lot more getting football involved is a lot more hype. It's a lot of anger. People want to be coached hard and they want to be coached fast, right? So you got to stay on it. You got to stay loud. You got to stay high volume. Now with a lot of my other sports, it takes the intensity stays up. However, they don't need all that rah-rah type work. It's more of not so much more of a technical standpoint, but it can be pulled back a little bit, more conversational tone. I found that has worked out with my non-collision and fighting type sports.
All right, so now we're going to the more relaxed part of the podcast. So you have to pick your favorite athlete from Missouri of all time.
I don't want to ride the bandwagon. How do I not want to ride the bandwagon right now? We'll go Chase Daniels.
Yeah, I was going to say, you look like a Chase Daniels type of guy.
What, huh? He's got the best career in the NFL. Come on. Backup quarterback, plays in 4 games, gets paid $35.5 million.
He did good last week. He came in for a relief.
All those 4 games, go look at the stats. He's had just above average games. And that's all you need from a backup, right?
That's all you need.
And
he did that last year, too. He came in and he won a few games for the Bears. So, he played for the Saints for a while, so I know Chase Daniels. Beach or mountain guy?
Considering I'm extremely afraid of heights, we'll go beach all day.
Okay. If you had to pick squats or bench press?
Now, if you would have asked me 4 years ago, I would have said bench press all the way. However, front squats, the worst exercise of all time, is my favorite exercise. And you heard it here first.
Okay. If you had to pick just one thing to do, one song to listen to the rest of your life, what would that song be?
One song the rest of my life. Let's see. Mr. Brightside, The Killers.
All right. This is the last question. Favorite Coach Shu quote. Favorite thing he says every single day. Because I know mine. I'm going to let you say yours.
You go first.
There's no other place you'd rather be than right here, right now. Second would be get a good lean, get a good reach.
Oh, happy days.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's my favorite.
Thank you, Marcus, for coming on. Hope you
problem.
enjoyed it.
Oh, I did.
Well, that's it for the Brick Street Podcast. I'm Corey Rolden.
I'm Marcus Makovicka. I'll be back.
We'll see you guys next week.